Clip that, Riley. Jason said that I'm smart.
So I get the lasagna, and she looks up and she says, man, that is the least sexy thing on the menu. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Lasagna not sexy? Lasagna can be sexy.
Nah, if I'm eating a lasagna, I'm not having fun time after a date.
I go to the gym to fight people.
That's awesome.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. With Alex Gravatt, here's Pablo Iglesias.
Good morning, everybody. Pablo Iglesias, Alex Gravatt here for the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN on this holiday weekend edition, too, here at the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Riley Yauk behind the glass here. And like I said, it's a holiday weekend. Vibes are high. You know what? It's a little chillier than normally for the Memorial Day weekend. But you know what? People still feeling good. People are vibing. I saw good crowds over at the farmers market on my drive over here. The sun is out. I mean, what else could you ask for?
Yeah, no, I remember going camping on this Memorial Day weekend a few years ago. I went up to the UP with my buddy Logan, and it was 31 degrees as we fell asleep.
31?
It was so cold. Yep. This was a couple years ago. This might have been COVID times. I don't remember because we were camping. So, like, obviously, it was an outdoor activity. And I was so shocked because it had been so nice here, right? Everything is blooming. It's all fun. It's green. You know, you're like in the summer mindset. But that's the thing about Wisconsin. It just keeps on nipping away at you. It gets you. And then you're like, finally summer's here, but it's just not quite here yet. And this is the reminder.
This is the reminder for sure. Either way, the summer is the kickoff. This is the summer kickoff weekend typically for Memorial Day. The words are getting jumbled right now too. So here on the Saturday Scramble, we will have the words just flowing out a little better as we get into the show. Hey, that's just the vibe. That's just the vibe right now, and I just got to admit it right now. Thank you, Riley. But yeah. Like we were saying, Memorial Day does kind of feel like that transition into the summer. We also are talking about today a lot of Packers talk, too. The Packers, a few of them not making, or actually none, rather, on the top 25 under 25. Jason Wilde also joining us today. Got a little Boomer Doom action. I know last week we had to cut it short, but don't worry, it is back and better than ever. Same thing with Second Take. Also, the Badgers, big on the national stage. We'll get into all of that. But again, going back to Memorial Day weekend and just like going left and right, I noticed too last night. It seemed like people were going to the hotel over here, right next to our building here in downtown Madison. It looked like from people from out of town. Do you guys think people come in from out of town here, like that are from different parts of the state, that come into vacation into Madison and Memorial Day weekend? Out of curiosity, what do you think?
Here's the thing that's so funny. It's like, If it's a long weekend like this, specifically in Wisconsin in the summer when you finally get that nice weather, I think the population of cities and small towns stay the same. It's just the people from the cities leaving their city to go to a small town and the people from the small town leaving their small town to come to the big city. So 844-770-3776.
Thank you.
If you're coming into town, call us and let us know where you're coming from. If you're going out of town, I'm curious where you're headed. And if you're headed north, at what point does it become up north? Because I grew up an hour and 45 minutes from here, north. I would not consider it up north, but I think that there is some general debate to be had about where up north is.
Yeah, listen, I'm the guy that's not from Wisconsin, so we wanted to get into this up north debate.
So you moved up north.
I did move up north. This is north for me, but even think about that. We are the southwestern state. We're
South Central.
South Central. Yeah, South Central. That's right. We are in the South Central part of Wisconsin. So it's like for me, coming from Chicago, that is already up north. But there is a further, there's well more up. Actually, I'm going to the UP later next month for the first time ever.
Well, that's not up north.
Well, that's
the UP.
That's the question. Obviously, yes, it's the part of it's Michigan. But
the UP is definitely up north.
No, that's up. That's the UP.
Well, it's up north still.
It's the upper peninsula, but that does not.
But it's still north. I mean, I get it.
Is Miami the South?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
No, it is not.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
It is still the South.
Wait. Yes, it is, because let's go to a la LeBron James in the decision. I'm going to take my talents to South Beach.
Boom.
Yeah, so West Palm is the West. It's on the eastern side of the state.
It's in the name.
No, yes, West Palm is on the east seaboard. That does not make it west.
See, now we're just getting into all over. Miami is south.
No.
Yeah,
The
this is
Upper
semantics now.
Peninsula
Absolutely
is
not.
north. 844-770-3776. The Carblestock and text line list is more. We're trying to figure this out right now.
So-
what the heck is considered up north for? And I'll ask you guys as Wisconsinites. G, you're from
Plymouth, Wisconsin.
Plymouth. Yes, Plymouth, Wisconsin. Riley from Milton, closer to Madison. G, for the both of you guys. G, I want to start with you. What do you consider up north? I just hey, anything, past Madison when I'm heading up to Green Bay, Door County, Wausau, La Crosse. Directionally, those are all north. But where is
La Crosse,
that?
far more east, but I do understand.
Where's that north?
So
cutoff?
here's the thing. I don't have a direct answer because it changes. I think you can't live you can't be talking about the easternmost 10% of the state. Like, no matter where you are on the eastern side of the state, whether it's Appleton, Green Bay, Marionette is the only thing I will maybe give it an exclusion for. But if you are east of or in line with, what is it called? Lake Winnebago, you are not up north. It doesn't matter how far north you are not up north until maybe you get to Marionette. You cannot be in a city or a town that is large. So that immediately takes out Wausau or Eau Claire. Those are not up north areas. But I will say anything north of that, which that highway that connects them, I'm looking, I think it's 73 that connects Eau Claire and Wausau. Anything north of that, I'm willing to say is up north. You can't be super close to a large city. And I kind of want up north. You have to have you have to double check the pronunciation of the city. That is those are my only three real rules for being up north. But the thing is, I'm sure a lot of your friends went up to Lake Geneva and called it going up north growing up. That is outrageous.
Lake Geneva, the Wisconsin Dells, because that's us coming from the city.
Now, hold on.
I'll wholeheartedly admit this. Also on the private talk and text line too, we got Luke texting in. Miami is definitely the direction is south, but he does not consider it south. It is just his take. I will give him this. He is a Georgia boy too.
That's exactly it. So okay. For just a quick second, and then I need to get who I think, I consider myself a good old Wisconsin boy. You're clearly a Chicago guy.
I admit it, yeah. This is why I want you guys.
We have yet to hear from our most Wisconsin resident. But one moment. It's really funny because...
You're on deck.
Yes.
Get some swings in, kid.
Because
warming up.
I think the further south in Florida you go, it is the most drastic change from going from, Southern culture to just not... Because Miami... Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, these are not culturally speaking, they're not South. You don't have Southern hospitality. You've got people from Miami yelling at you. Cullen Russo's down there and he's just calling in and being like, Alex, you're a fraud. I don't take you seriously. That's it. And so you're not going to get that from someone from Carolinas. You're not going to get someone from Atlanta just calling in and saying that. They're nicer down there. Anyway. So I think that the gradient is south is, pretty much anything North Carolina, Virginia, whatever, south of that. And then as soon as you hit Florida, maybe Gainesville is the moment where it stops being the South. I think Jacksonville probably still the South, but I digress.
For those of you, yes, we do have the geography lesson going on here too. It feels like, especially with Jason Wilde coming on at some point.
Oh, Jason's going to have a take.
We'll dive into some geography, but we got to toss it over to Mr. Wisconsin behind the glass over here, Riley Elk. Riley, as the diehard Wisconsinite through and through here. Mm-hmm. Where is your up north start? What point of Wisconsin am I hitting? If I'm leaving Madison or heading up north, what city, what portion, what is your definition of up north in Wisconsin?
So college changed my perspective slightly. Growing up in Milton, Janesville, we're 15 minutes from the Illinois border. So we are southern Wisconsin. So for me,
not
growing
too far
up,
from Hard Rock, Rockford.
Hard Rock Casino Rockford, you're right. Great
baby.
spot. I won $50 at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Come on, video roulette. Anyways.
Dubs in the chat. Oh, what
For
a
real.
flex there.
Yeah, it was
what
pretty
a
awesome.
flex.
But
you
anyways,
just wanted to do that, didn't you? You just wanted to show that you're
G
good at
brought
what...
it up. G brought it up.
Oh,
Anyways,
fair
so
enough.
growing up, going to the Dells was up north for me.
Heresy.
I will
Lunacy.
admit that was wrong. I was just a child. Please forgive me. Now, I still think this might be somewhat of a hot
You are
take.
forgiven, my son.
Thank you. I think if you get to Wausau, anything Wausau and above, which Eau Claire, honestly, even Eau Claire, I'd sort of consider.
Eau Claire
I'd do
is
around
south of it's. I mean, it's much more west, but it is geographically south
So you
compared
have,
to Wausau.
There's like a triangle: Eau Claire, Shawano, and Wausau. Anything above
Wait, say
those
that again?
cities, Shawano.
Yeah.
Isn't it Shawano?
Shawano, it might be. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
thought it was Shawano.
Well, unfortunately, Pablo, you're a fib, so we
Whoa,
can't take your
whoa.
perspective.
Whoa! Do you have to
Dump that? No,
I
I
was
think
gonna
we're
say,
good.
are you?
No,
do you have
no.
to dump yourself for
I
that
don't
one?
think I do. I don't think I do. I think that's
It's
appropriate
implied.
for the
boy.
radio. Anyways, I think anything above those cities
Freaking Illinois boy.
counts as up north because I know people from each of those regions, and trust me, they are up north boys. They can drink the lights out of anyone.
Now that is true, and
So
I
that's where I'm getting this from.
I think that there's something to that. I'm not going to say that you're 100% right because, again, Wausau is just like when I'm up north, I want there to be like, you have to ask the question as I'm going up north. Oh, do you have running water there? Oh, do you have like electricity? Is there multiple rooms in your cabin and you have to be on a lake? Now, Wausau has that big lake on the Wisconsin River. It's fun. Eau Claire is... The reason we're having this conversation is because during show prep, I saw something that was, it was this up north thing, but it was more so talking about re-regionizing the entire country. Like,
Show the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, or if you're watching the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, G does also have the state of Wisconsin. He
has a map.
You can hear it.
He has the map. Yes, there, the piece of paper that's right next to the mic here, and he was very passionate about this, which is exactly where I wanted to go, of the re-regionalization of, we're making up words if that's not even the way you say it, but anyway, how are you re-regionalizing Wisconsin?
all right, and this
Boom.
is where the up north thing stems from and why it's kind of hard. I think if we're looking at Wisconsin, there's a few spaces that stand out, right? Like Superior is obviously Maine. It has this like fisher boat culture. It's up north. There's a ton of snow. It's cold. People are more likely to wear, like hats and stuff. I don't know. They're just vibes wise, it matches Maine very well.
Good vibes.
Milwaukee, it's our major metropolitan area. It has multiple neighborhoods, which matter a lot to people who are living there and around there. But if you're not there, you probably don't mind as much. So I'm going to call that New York. That's our New York. I think actual Wisconsin, or the Canada of this whole Wisconsin map, is the Fox River Valley. Right, like you've got
So now we're
Appleton,
getting
Green Bay.
multi-country too? I thought it was just like what portions of the United States. I'm just curious.
The video that I saw that was doing this for the entire country did just give the UP, Minnesota, and Wisconsin to Canada. That we are the Canada of the United States. And so I think if we're going to really dial it in, Green Bay is the Canada of Wisconsin.
All right, buddy.
The Dells is Florida. I think that is self-explanatory. Madison is California because we're all a little bit hippy-dippy. We've got Willie Street, which is great, but we also are like, a major part of the state. And then you have Appalachia, which is everything north of the Flambeau River. And then I think that the south is pretty much Beaver Dam up to where the woods start. That the National Forest, the Nicollet National Forest up north is. So
we're not necessarily following like true geographic
No,
direction.
not a
Not
chance.
that it's more of a Pangea.
No, this is based entirely on vibes.
Yeah.
But I will say, the one part that I didn't know where to put is Eau Claire. So 844-770-3776. If you're from Eau Claire and somebody says they're going up north to Eau Claire, are you okay with that? I think we need an Eau Claire person in on this.
I have a friend from Augusta, Wisconsin, which is right outside of Eau Claire. I'll shoot him a text and we'll see what he has to say. I bet he's going to be pissed at me for calling it up north.
I am sure that is going to be something here. We are diving into more geography. I'm sure Jason Wilde will be coming up too later in the hour. We're going to have a Geography Saturday potentially with him. But let's also think about, too, before we get to Jason Wilde, talk about the Packers as well. And this feels like the youth movement. This feels like a very strong young team. You get Jordan Love and a bunch of weapons, but yet there are no youngsters on a specific list. We'll talk about that more on the other side. This is Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC, Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Bandana? Check. Boots? Check. Gloves? Check. As a motorcycle rider in Wisconsin, you may go to great lengths to protect your image. Just be sure you're protecting yourself, too. Wear a Department of Transportation-approved helmet. Perform safety checks on your motorcycle. Know the traffic laws and don't take risks. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Steinhaufel's biggest Memorial Day sale ever is happening now. Save 10% off store-wide and get $50 instant cash back for every $499 you spend. Plus, buy a premium mattress and get free premium delivery on everything. And take advantage of Steinhaufel's 60-month 0% financing. Plus, get amazing doorbusters. Steinhaufel's is Wisconsin's furniture and mattress leader. Shop in-store or online at steinhaufels.com.
What's up, Wisconsin fans? Enjoying the game should always be easy, so don't overthink it. What to wear? Done. Just toss on your lucky jersey. Don't know what to serve your friends? Easy. Pick up some pizza from your go-to place and grab Bud Light to stock your fridge. See? It's that easy. Just like Bud Light, which is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly, 21 plus. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Memorial Day savings are here at Brothers Maine. Shop unbeatable deals on top brands like GE Appliances, Cafe, Hotpoint, and Monogram. Plus, enjoy expert support and free local delivery. Visit us today and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Outside Decker. It's a 3. Got it! Dagger!
On June 26th at the Orpheum Theater, relive the excitement with the squad that made him believe. A special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab.
That's his favorite.
And the 2.
Made him believe. Supported by Event Essentials, Bruner Realty, Gordon Flesch, and Park Bank. Get your tickets today at uwhoops2015.com. You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
This is the Saturday Scramble. Pablo Iglesias, Alex Gravatt, Riley Young behind the glass at the Everlight Solar Studio 100.5 ESPN. Jared from Brule? Texting us on the ESPN or Carbless Talking text line 844-770-3776. Jarrett, being from up north, as he says, up north starts at Highway 8.
I like that.
You like that?
I like that. That's kind of what I said was the Appalachia of Wisconsin. So that's what I would say probably an hour and a half north of Wausau, an hour north of Wausau. It goes from Barron, kind of Rice Lake area. Rice Lake, I think that's where our general manager, Ben Wittes, started his life. I think he's from there. And it goes along, hits Rhinelander, it's north of Tomahawk, and goes over to Iron Mountain. It doesn't ever dip down to Marionette, so I think that stays true for my belief about Lake Winnebago being, you can't be further east of Lake Winnebago and still be up north. I like that.
I did just look up where Brule or Brule, Wisconsin is from. That is like near Lake Superior. That's like the top of the state. So I think he's biased.
Actually, Riley.
Right over there by Lake Nebagaman.
So let's do this. At some point, there's a great, I used to use this website. This was given to me by a former colleague when I was in the TV days. There is a site specifically called Mispronunciation. And it has a full list of how to pronounce all of the Wisconsin cities.
Fantastic.
So I think at some point we have to have that ready to go, fired up. Maybe not, maybe now, maybe at some point, but maybe that'll help us pronounce these cities correctly here from here on out. But you know what we need to figure out, like what is correct or what the heck's happening right now. The Packers and their youth movement. The Packers right now have one of the youngest, if not the youngest team right now. We have to double check on that one, but still a young team, a young core, an exciting team because look, we all know what young teams do. We all know that Goody has this formula of like, let's keep this team young, let's keep them young, let's keep them fresh. Let's do that around Jordan Love. And yet, Pro Football Focus thinks otherwise with the top 25 players that are under 25. You know how many Lions are on this list?
Is it 5?
That's 5. No Packers on the list, though. No Packers.
Yeah, and that's, at first glance, shocking, right? Because we think about the Packers as this young team. Surely by volume, there must be somebody who makes that list just because there's so many Packers who are so young. But what I want to point out is I looked at all the players on the Packers who are 25 or younger, and all of the players who we consider to be pretty good, first-round picks, exciting players, almost all of them are just 25. So as we go into the 2025 season, they're not actually under 25. That's Quay Walker, Romeo Dobbs, Kingsley Inigbare, Rasheed Walker, Luke Musgraves, Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft, Sean Ryan, Colby Wooden, not that exciting. But, those are the guys who are 25 already. There's only 11 guys who are actually under 25 from last year. I mean, there are other guys who are on the team who are trying out, things like that, who were drafted this year that I did not include in this. But Lucas Van Ness, I don't think any of us would say he's a top 25 young star right now. Jordan Morgan didn't play last year. The one that I think is the most surprising.
Jordan Morgan's on this list. We would have a problem. Yes, we would have problems.
But I would have a much larger problem with our offseason strategy if that were the case. Anyway, the one player who I think might have been snubbed, Edgerrin Cooper. Edgerrin Cooper played really well. He's 24 years old. He's exciting. He's out there making plays. And I do actually believe that that's a snub. But outside of that, I don't think Javon Bullard's that great. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's a top 25 young star. I don't think Marshawn Lloyd has proved that yet. He's been injured. That's fine. Tyron Hopper. Evan Williams, another guy who's good, but hasn't been consistently great. Carrington Valentine's great, but not, a world beater. And Dontavion Wicks. I mean, when you look at those names, they're guys you're happy that are on your team, but you're not angry that they didn't make this list based on what we've seen.
The guy that you could make the case for who's going to be turning 25, he's actually 24 in 202 days, looking at this, at his birthday, November 3rd, for those wondering, Tucker Kraft. But it's where he has to be. This is definitely the prove-it year for Tucker Kraft. This is the prove-it year. Well, Not the prove it year. More so of like everybody's hyping it up. Offseason, he feels good about it. Even when I got to talk with him at the Packers tailgate, like straightforward. He wants to be the guy. He wants to be the one who is the go-to. I think Matt LaFleur has that faith in him too. The whole offense does. Why can't a tight end be your top pass catcher in your offense? Because, you look at a Travis Kelce. You look at Sam Laporta is not the number one option, but he's a very good piece of that Detroit offense. Brock Bowers. So these are a couple guys, though, too, at the tight end position. Brock Bowers has only been in the league for 1 year.
Brock Bowers, when they drafted him, I remember I was listening to a fantasy football podcast, and they were like, guys, I know that the rule is not to draft in your fantasy football leagues, of course, not to draft rookie tight ends. It just doesn't work out. They need to figure out how to play, how to sit in zones, things like that. And that's why you see so many tight ends get better, i.e. Travis Kelce, as their career goes on, because they're not athletic freaks the way that wide receivers are. They're more going to outthink you and use their dad strength to get that first down or whatever. But the Raiders came out and said, Brock Bowers is our guy. We're going to build our offense around him. And I'm sorry, but Kraft, no one on the Packers has done what he's done. He would be the Packers' number one receiver, pass catcher, whatever you want to say.
Do you think the Packers want to try to build you have Josh Jacobs. You have a pretty
the Packers are building their offense around Josh Jacobs.
They're building the offense around Josh Jacobs. I think they should run. Well, here's
That's
the thing.
their best offensive player.
He is, but they relied on him too much. And I think when the Packers are really cooking is that they have that balanced attack. They have the great play action. They really took a step back in the play action realm last year. I think you got to find that happy medium. You can't rely on Josh Jacobs because we've talked about this weeks before too. As much as I love Josh Jacobs, he is a dog. Also, part Filipino ties. So shout out during AAPI Heritage Month and shout out that he's just doing that across the board. I love it. Even as a Chicago guy, I am all for Josh Jacobs. But that fall off in that running back room really hurts.
The fall really off from 1 to 2, but here's the thing. You say that they rely too heavily on Josh Jacobs.
They did.
What we know about Matt LaFleur, he was in Tennessee when the start of King Henry happened. When he came to be the Packers head coach, what was in his first draft, they go get A.J. Dillon, who is that prototype. He did not pan out. And then when it doesn't work, they let go of Aaron Jones, who has been fantastic, who has been so talented, explosive, dynamic, a little injury prone. I'll give you that. That's tough. But you give up all of that to go get Josh Jacobs. Matt LaFleur wants a guy who they can run the ball with 30 times a game, just let him go pound out 5-6 yards a crack and be a ground and pound team that can throw it over the top when time comes. That's why Aaron Rodgers hated it. That's why Jordan Love is a great piece for the Green Bay Packers, but that's why Josh Jacobs is so important. So did they rely too heavily on Josh Jacobs? I don't think so. I don't have the stats up right now, and I can maybe try and find this, because I remember last offseason talking about games where Aaron Jones had a 100-yard rushing game. And Jordan Love's stats and wins when there was a 100-yard rusher were infinitely better than when there was not a 100-yard rusher. So to say that they're relying too much on Josh Jacobs feels like saying they're doing too much of what they want. And sometimes too much of what you want is a bad thing, but I don't think it is in this case. And I'm going to put my faith in Matt LaFleur to run the ball the appropriate amount, because that's what's going to open up these young wide receivers. That's when the offense is cooking. That's when it's looking its best. And that's why they need to continuously fill that running back funnel.
I mean, I know that Matt LaFleur is a smart coach. He is a guy that could draw up some great schemes for the offense too. But again, it's just more of it. I don't want the Packers to feel like that it's just always got to be Josh Jacobs. That he may bust out like a big run, but also like you drafted Matthew Golden for a reason. You drafted Matthew Golden in the first round for an absolute reason. Is for him to be, at least in my eyes, a playmaker, a stud right off the bat.
Okay, but let's bring it back.
That is the expectation of first-round wide receivers. No? Am I wrong?
You're right. That should be. But I want to bring it back a step, because we're looking. The reason we're having this conversation is that there's 25 players under 25, the top in the league, going into 2025. So that's a lot of 25s. Not a single Packer was on that list, which means while the expectation can be, and we want to put the pressure on Matthew Golden to go be the number one, he's being paid as the number one, which is hilarious.
Yes.
He's the highest paid Packers wide receiver. The expectation can be that, but that's just not what we've seen from Gutekunst's draft picks. Number one picks don't pan out to be elite talents. Do I think that we drafted a guy who has a high floor, someone who can change the way that we play the offense? Yes. Do I think that he's going to go out and be a 100 reception, 1,400 yard, double-digit touchdown wide receiver year one? I don't. And I just want to point out, I'm looking at it right now. In all of the Packers' losses last year, Josh Jacobs never eclipsed 100 yards.
Let me ask you this, to more of the pass catchers. And I want to hear from you too, 844-770-3776 on the Carbless Talking text line. Also drop, if you're watching on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel too, drop it there. Text, tweet at us as well. We're all over the place right now. I want to ask you this, G. Do you think, what do you think is the better chance of happening? Who is going to has the most catches, the Field or Tucker Kraft? I'm pairing all the wide receivers together.
Wait, they're combined receptions?
Just no.
Okay.
Okay. Tucker Kraft is going to lead the Packers in receptions, or just the Field in general? Tucker Kraft versus the Field. Where do you stand on that?
I'm still going to go the Field. I think that last year he had 50 receptions, I think, which is good, and that's up 17 from the previous year. So he went 33 to 50 total receptions. Even if he jumps up to 67, 70, I think that there will be a couple wide receivers in that same range. I don't think he will run away with it. There is a chance he wins it, but I just don't see him being an 80 reception tight end. If he is, that's great, because he led the team in yak last year, yards after catch.
Yak.
He's the yak man. But I don't know. I think that there's it's much more likely that we see Matthew Golden come out and maybe lead the team, or more than likely it's going to be Romeo Doubs. I know Jason Wilde, who we've got scheduled coming up soon. Jason Wilde likes to think that Romeo Doubs is going to go play himself into a large contract elsewhere, and Jaden Reed is going to try his darndest to make a splash in a way that makes him paid highly to come back. And I think that that's what they want from him. We'll see.
The reason why I feel that way, though, is just because, again, it's like the reliance on Josh Jacobs, and I'm not saying like it's an over-reliance. I think if you do utilize Josh Jacobs, which I think the Packers did get a little liberal with it, don't get me wrong, but also it's like, look, you got Josh Jacobs, you got a tank, but it's like also you have some stud wide receivers. I don't know if they're like they're at the All-Pro, the Pro Bowl level just yet, but they're getting there. It feels like the talent is there. But also, it's like if you're gonna go with Josh Jacobs, and then all of a sudden you're in the red zone, and then you could go with the Kraft Crash. Is that what we decided?
That's what I decided.
The Kraft Crash,
right?
Which the tush push also, by the way, is legal.
Did you hear? There's some reports, and again, I have not vetted this, so this is my TikTok side information, my social media information.
Yes,
Please,
yes,
do not hold this against me.
The greater informations of the TikTok.
But I've seen some people tweeting stuff out that kind of agrees with what I believed early on, and that is that the league used the Packers to push this through, because they don't have an owner, and nobody wanted to be the one who said no. But the fact that 22 teams voted to take out the tush push shocked me. And it stayed around. The team that surprised me the most that voted against it was the Bills. The fact that they wanted that gone.
That's ironic.
They used it effectively. The Packers also used it effectively with our big man, the Tucker Kraft, as we talk all about him. But again, I think that's,
But the Packers were able to use it with Tucker Kraft without having a bunch of people push him from behind. And that was one of the aspects of the rule that they wanted changed. No more offensive players could pull or push or move the ball carrier forward. So I think the Packers, while I agree that they were probably used because they didn't have an owner, they also created a version of the play that would fit within the rule system if they banned the tush push.
You know what I also want to know, too? Is it IPT that Jason Kelce was brought in as essentially a lobbyist to, and I don't know, I'm not in those meetings. I would love to know. I'm sure he'll probably talk about it, he and Travis on their podcast, but I mean, does it feel IPT that Jason Kelce was essentially there as the lobbyist to be like, no, the tush push? He probably gave a good explanation behind it, but was it IPT again that that Jason Kelsey was brought in for reinforcements.
Was he the one who's saying it should be banned or should not be banned?
No, I mean I'm imagining that if he was brought in to represent the Philadelphia Eagles, who have successfully ran the play, that he gave more of the explanation.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if...
Yeah.
I mean, it's not IPT at all. I mean, he is the person who was there to start it, right? Like, he was part of that first part. So I think 100% he's the right person to have in there to cross-examine if we're making this a legal battle. But...
show us your law degree, G.
I do not have one. I have a journalism... strategic communications, dual degree for me.
Law degree from TikTok.
Our friend,
YouTube University.
Our friend Jarrett has chimed back in. It's pronounced Brewell, and it's the county. The county next to where he lives is the only one in the state that does not have a stoplight.
Oh, it's a free-for-all in Brewell.
His hometown, I Googled it, 208 people according to the last census, which is so small. But that's
awesome.
Up north. That's it. That's what I want.
I'm not arguing that is also up north.
That's not quite Maine for me because it's about 30 minutes, maybe an hour away from Superior, but that's up north. I love that.
Well, just like Brewell, it is all gas, no brakes, apparently, and that's the same situation for us. We got Boomer Doom coming up on the other side. Pablo Iglesias, Alex Gravatt. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN.
Greg Scalzi here for Total Athlete Performance. They're here to provide elite performance training for serious athletes in the Madison area. And there's a new Verona TAP facility open inside of the Verona Athletic Center. Summer speed, agility, and semi-private options are now available at both Verona and Windsor locations, and now offering monthly subscription payment options. Plus, you can download the new Total Athlete Performance app for remote training options all year round. Visit tapwisconsin.com. That's tapwisconsin.com.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Big winners are wanted this May at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, so saddle up and ride on in for the biggest prizes in town. It's all fixing to start at high noon on Saturday, May 31st. 30 winners will each be selected to collect a $1,000 prize. And that same afternoon, 3 more of our most wanted will each wrangle a $10,000 cash prize. That's $60,000 paid out in one day. Get your share of the bounty this May at
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you.
The Milwaukee Brewers have partnered with GovX to offer 50% off select tickets to active duty military, veterans, first responders, government employees, and teachers at Sunday through Thursday games, courtesy of Vortex. Visit brewers.com/GovX.
Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA.
If you want a fresh twist on surf and turf, look no further than North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Inspired by their time living in the Alaskan Gulf in southern Texas, owners Keith and Aaron brought together unique culinary backgrounds to create a truly authentic American restaurant here in Madison. After expanding to 2 more locations in DeForest and Verona, you can savor smoky, wood-fired barbecue and freshly prepared seafood from around the country. Explore their full menu and dining options at eatnorthandsouth.com. That's eatnorthandsouth.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Spend my dollar, park in a holler, needs a mountain moonlight. Hold her up tight, make a little loving, a little turn it up, and
going on the Instagram chat as well. What is up north? Got a couple responses here from Isaac over in Wausau. Says he's not from there, but there is a correct answer. North of 64 is quote up north. Also,
hold on.
One of our teammates, too, G. I know you are going away at this one. One of our teammates over at the Truth and ESPN Milwaukee, over in the Milwaukee office, rather. AP. Anything past Madison and Green Bay. I know Madison is west, but ...
I love Pittman. He's great.
AP, man, what a guy. What a guy.
Anything north of Madison is up north is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a terrible take, but I love him. Here's the other thing I want to point out. I've never been like a country music fan, but there's something about like a good long weekend that all of a sudden country music's in for me. I really do. The bump music for you. I was tapping along. I was vibing.
I do.
So I'm here for it.
I do enjoy that. What's been my recent binge is it's not really country. It's more of a bluesy. Hunter Vaughn, one of our teammates over here at the ESPN Madison office.
DJ Tiny Hands.
Yes, sir. Also, great fill-in a couple weeks ago here on the Saturday Scramble. We just saw Sinners, and I am just listening to blues. I'm listening to slide guitar, all of that. There's a deeper theme behind the blues and everything, but man, soundtrack's banging. I'm not going to lie.
My favorite class of my college career was the Delta Blues. Ooh. It was a class that taught us how like the blues music changed the way that we like have concerts, the British invasion, all this stuff because of like the music that was started in the Mississippi Delta, and then how it spread, and it's huge for music like country and rock and roll. I could do a whole show about just that, but we need to stop right now.
Yeah, because music to your ears, as much as you love that, you know what else is music to your ears?
Riley.
Boomer Doom.
Well, we've had all the introductions. We've had all the pomp and circumstance. We've had all the fuss and feathers. But it's time. It's time for Doom.
It's been a while since we got to play this, guys.
This is the stupidest game in radio history.
It's time for
I think it's the greatest.
Or Doom, and we don't have much time before we got to get to Jason Wilde, so I'll just leave you guys with one. So you see I'm wearing my Missouri Tigers baseball cap. This past week, I was gone for most of the week because I was down in Hoover, Alabama, hence playing Dixieland Delight, to watch my friend play baseball. He's the second baseman for the Missouri Tigers. To watch him play in the SEC baseball tournament. Me and a few buddies went down. It was awesome. We had a great time. I discovered that Wisconsin was completely irrelevant on the national scene, which is tough. You can go check out the ESPN Madison Instagram page if you want to see my video with another Missouri fan who's actually the dad of a player on the team, which was great. But since I didn't have any other Missouri merch outside of this hat, I was like, you know, it'd be funny. I'm at the SEC baseball tournament. Let's just wear my Big Ten shirt. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. I walk in. I'm getting tons of weird, dirty looks, confused looks. I took a picture in front of the SEC, it just means more sign, outside while flexing my Big Ten shirt.
You could feel the sarcastic energy in that photo,
no. Here's
too.
the thing.
You could feel it.
Yes. Baseball means more to the SEC. We're one of the flagship Big Ten schools here at Wisconsin. We don't have a baseball team.
We're the only team in the Big Ten without a baseball team, and it's just sad. We're one of the only Power 4 schools without a baseball team, but that's a different topic for a different day. I had Bama fans walk by while I was doing that. They're like, ooh, like,
that's
thumbs
because
down.
everyone in the SEC right now is so butthurt because they got swept in the college football playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for the Ohio State-Tennessee game. Tennessee never gonna forgive what we as the Big Ten were saying and doing to them all game long after the game. It was crazy.
Have we reached our Boomer Doom question yet? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Not yet. My Boomer Doom question is, Boomer Doom, are you an instigator at sporting events? Like, if you're a neutral party, I technically did have a horse in the race with Missouri, but Are you just going there? Are you rocking your team? Are you rocking your rival's gear to a game between two other rivals? You wearing your Packers jersey to a Bears-Vikings game if you went for some reason? Are you just trying to stir the pot, so to speak?
It depends. Now, I have not gone to a game. Like, you are a more pure sports fan than I am. If I'm going to go, I like to wear something of one of the two teams, a team that I'd prefer to win. But, like, if I just don't see myself ever going to, like, a Bears-Vikings game. If that were the case, yes, I'd wear my Packers gear. For Ultimate Frisbee, as I play and watch in a constant amount of Ultimate Frisbee, I am a big-time instigator. I scream. I know the players personally. Like, I'm playing against most of the best ones. So, like, I like to get after them, scream at them, yell at them, start, stuff. Maybe I'll wear my Rads gear in a situation like that. But when I went to the Ohio State-Tennessee game, the inside lining of one of my winter jackets is orange. And I thought nothing of it. And I'm walking around. I actually have, a little red scarf on because my girlfriend is a big-time Ohio State fan. She went to Ohio State. She also went to Duke. So she has constantly in her lifetime just crushed the Badgers.
Yeah, that sucks, actually.
She doesn't think anything of us. She's like, oh, well, Wisconsin's cute. I like to play them. And I'm like,
yeah, the only fan who showed an iota of respect to the Wisconsin Badgers was Roll Tide Willie. Have you ever heard of Roll Tide Willie?
I have not.
He's a diehard Alabama fan, and I went and asked him. We saw him there, and I'm like, yo, Badgers are coming down September 13th. What do you got to say to the Wisconsin fans? He looks at me. He's kind of cross-eyed, too, so he's, like, kind of looking at me, but not. And he's like, the Tide are going to whoop their ass better than it's ever been whooped before. It was awesome. But at least he acknowledged our existence and knew of us. I appreciated that.
I don't believe that that Roll Tide Willie sounds like a time too.
I would love to have a beer with Roll Tide Willie.
Multiple beers at minimum. I don't consider myself to be an instigator by doing this because I'll wear my team's jersey. But what I'll always wear if I'm at a baseball game is the OG City Connect White Sox Southside jersey. And I'm always getting compliments on that one because, let's face it, baseball fan, whatever it is, doesn't matter if it's your team, maybe if it's your rival, which I don't think really we have many of them. That is a sexy jersey at the end of the day. That is a beautiful jersey, and I love to wear that. You know what? I'm not going to actively root against everybody. I'm just there to enjoy. I'm there for vibes. I'm there to enjoy myself, man. So I don't know. But I do understand that wearing a Big Ten conference shirt at a different conference event is definitely stirring the pot.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Because it's not taking a shot at anybody either.
No.
It's just good.
Exactly. And
it's like wearing a Major League Baseball hat. That's kind of what you're doing right now.
No. It's like...
Are you an umpire?
It's like wearing
Just go
your...
MLB?
Like a nondescript AFC championship shirt at like... it is exactly what it is. You wore a different league, same vibe. Anyway, I love it.
I hope both teams have fun, kind of thing.
See, it felt more like wearing an opposing team's gear, though. Like I was everyone's enemy.
Good.
There.
That's fun.
So that was sort of how it felt to me. But it sounds like both of you guys on the instigating side of things.
Doom! Dang it.
Kind of a doom.
I was about to say we made it through the whole segment without either of us saying boom or doom.
Boom! All right, we got to get to Jason. That's all I got.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, listen, Riley, we could try to be instigators on the other side with Jason Wilde. That's for sure. We'll have him on the other side calling in. We'll take a quick break, a little bit of a breather, quick timeout. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on two wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Outside Decker. It's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop
that's
stab,
his favorite.
and the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-517-9383. That's 800-517-9383. 800-517-9383.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
I need some good news. Sitting here sipping on cold truth. Nobody knows what I'm going through. But the devil ain't walking my shoes. Wish someone told me.
Searching for some good news, and good news always, and that is why we turn to the man himself. You can hear him weekdays on 100.5 ESPN, across ESPN Wisconsin, too, as well from 9 to noon on weekdays. He is the Packers insider, Mr. Jason Wilde. Jason, what's poppin'? How you doing on this holiday weekend morning?
Good morning, boys. How are you?
We're hanging out, man. We're trying to. So the big question is that we're starting out the show, and we've kind of been going through this, and we felt like that you would have a really interesting take on this,
mostly because of your relationship with Tasha.
No pressure there.
No pressure. Setting the stage. Jason, what is your definition of up north? What point in Wisconsin, when you hit a certain point in Wisconsin, what are you considering up north?
I have no idea. I have not been to the up north region, which I will say I think of it as like, Boulder Junction, Tomahawk, that kind of middle of the state, north of Green Bay, but it's more west as well. I have a picture of me catching my first fish, which I'm pretty sure is my only fish, and I am 5 years old. I am not what you would call an outdoorsman. And Paul and the girls are in the car with me, and they are.
Oh, we have guests. We have more guests.
So that is. I know Jesse loves to go up north. That's his big thing. I am really bad at going places where you don't really do much. Like, I don't want to fish. I don't want to hunt. And I really don't want to sit around and do nothing. So whether it's going to a beach and sitting around and reading a book by the ocean or going up north, that is not my jam. I want to do cheesy touristy stuff. I want to go to Dollywood. I want to do that kind of.
Is that where? Is that where you and the family? Where are you guys off to? Are you going somewhere for the holiday weekend?
No, we're running some errands, and then I have to return Celebrations Entertainment's photo booth to one of Jeffrey's right-hand people because we had that for the 8th grade dance last week. So, no, we're not going anywhere. We're getting a lot of stuff done at home. But next week, Paul and the girls are going to the Gymnastics National Championships, which Maddie is competing in, and Sydney just missed out on qualifying for. So they're going on a trip to Tennessee, and it is held in the town where Dollywood is. I'm not going. I have to cover OTAs.
Okay.
And I'm super jealous because I would love to go to Dollywood.
Okay, so like Dollywood is a very touristy thing. It's very fun, very cool. But up north, I'm curious, do you find that Door County, which is right there for you, is that part of up north in your mind?
No, that's its own separate entity. It's nothing like up north.
I agree. We've got Riley, who very excited, enthusiastically thought it was, but apparently not.
Door County's up north.
No, it's not. Up north is in the central part of the state. Door County is Door County. Do we need to call in A.J. Dillon to clarify?
We could.
Yes, if you want to drop his digits, we will gladly take A.J. Dillon, the new Philadelphia Eagle, see how he thinks about that, and the tush push.
So wait, Riley, explain to me how you would. I understand it's in a northerly direction from where you currently are.
Yes.
But I don't think that that's what up north is.
I think you can enjoy the up north activities just as much in Door County with a cabin on Lake Michigan. I was actually just in Egg Harbor a couple weeks ago, and if you avoid the tourist trap areas, I think it's just as up north as, Tomahawk, your Rhinelanders, your Bayfields. We got someone texting in from Brule. I think it counts.
Brule.
Yeah. A town of 200.
Yeah, all right, well, you're entitled to your opinion even when it's wrong, Riley. I think if you asked people in Door County, they would tell you Door County is different than going up north. And it's not the same kind of get away from everything. There's more people there. I just think it's viewed differently. I can tell you I view it differently. But if you see it that way, who am I to judge you?
Last thought on it, and then we do want to talk a little football. I don't think that you can be up north.
Do?
I think it would make sense.
Many are saying,
given your relationship with the organization, I think that if you're east of football of Lake Winnebago, you can't actually be up north. That's been my take on the day.
There you go.
But you are also, if you're
great to have you on the team.
If you're within 30 miles of Lake Winnebago, you're the truest form of a Wisconsinite, in my opinion. But I want to talk about the big news on the week, and that is that there is no Packer on the 25 under 25 list, which when you were on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and heard about this, claimed you were speechless. Have you had time to find your words?
No, I'm still a little bit speechless, but I have been asked about it subsequently, so I do have some answers for you. And I would start by saying that they still have some good young players, right? They've got a few guys that have celebrated their 25th birthday, so they're not eligible. They also have some guys that I would argue, if they had an honorable mention section, would have been on it, right? Tucker Kraft, Edger, and Cooper. But I think what this underscores is two things. One, the fact that if this is how you are going to build your team, right, and it's going to be forever young, and you're going to cycle through players at various positions and not re-sign them. The approach used to be, if you played well for this organization, you were going to get paid by this organization. And I'll never forget Goody, before last year's draft in 2024, pulling out this statistic that on average teams only re-sign 1.6 players from a draft class to second contracts, which I don't think was true in previous regimes. And I think that was his tell, right? If you ever seen the movie Rounders and John Malkovich as Teddy KGB when he's opening up his Oreos, that was his tell. I think that was a tell by Goody, that's his mentality is, hey, we're going to sign one, maybe two guys to second contracts in each draft, probably sometimes zero, right? I mean, look at the 2021 draft class. That is barren. The 2020 draft class, what is it? Jordan Love, and then 2021 is Isaiah McDuffie. Those are the only guys left from those two draft classes.
Now that Eric Stokes is gone.
If that's going to be your approach, then you really have to be adept, and you better have some guys that end up on this list. And you can argue that those two guys could have been on that list. But I think that's one part of it, and then the other part of it is that if, in addition to the pressure it puts on you to be pretty darn good with every draft, then you need those guys to then really hit their strides in year 3 and year 4. And so even if they're not under 25 anymore, those are the guys that are going to be so crucial to your team's success. And that fits in with where this team is now. Look at the 2022 draft class. All those guys are 25, 26. Think about how many of those guys are in contract years. Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Kingsley Enagbare, the 3 offensive linemen, right? Zach Tom, Sean Ryan, and Rasheed Walker. All those guys, there may be more. I'm just driving and I can't look at my draft page. But all those guys are in their 4th and final years of their rookie deals. Then look at the 2023 class. And you're talking about Jaden Reed and Dontavion Wicks and both tight ends, Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave. If they're going to be as good as they believe they're capable of being, those 3rd and 4th year guys have to be really, really good. And to this point, all of those guys, that 2022 class, I just left off Quay Walker, who did not get the 5th-year option, and Devontae Wyatt, who did get the 5th-year option. And neither of those guys are guaranteed long-term contracts either. So my point is that you're talking about a ridiculous number of guys that are starters on your team that have shown flashes of how good they are capable of being, but certainly have not been consistently really, really good. And so this is the year that those guys need to do that. And I think that is what this statistic from Pro Football Focus tells us. It's not necessarily, they don't have guys under 25 that are good enough to be on this list, and the Lions have 5 of them. It's the guys that they have that aren't under 25 anymore but are still young players had better pop and pop in a big way.
Talking with Jason Wilde, the Packers insider, our Packers insider. Jason, you mentioned that even though as much as you'd love to go to Dollywood with the family, that was one of the spots. You will be going to OTA, covering OTAs instead. What is a big headline, or what are a few stories that you feel like are intriguing you the most as you guys, as we approach the OTA season?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, Pablo, because one of the drawbacks this year that we're going to have to deal with is that they're still renovating the Packers' home locker room, and so they're using that third locker room that they built for when they play international friendly soccer games and stuff like that. And so we're not being allowed in the locker room, which is I'm not exactly thrilled with. So we are going to be given select players like you guys do when you cover the Badgers, and that will curtail some of the storytelling that we'll be able to do. Like, I want to talk to Dontavion Wicks and Jaden Reed. I want to talk to them about where they feel like they're at, what we just talked about in terms of them needing to really play to the level of expectation in year 3, and how they feel about the arrival of 2 draft picks at their position. We obviously had the report from Adam Schefter that then was walked back by Adam Schefter that Jaden Reed wanted to know about his role, and that his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, inquired about that, which I think Drew Rosenhaus and Adam Schefter both realized after the fact, and he's a real insider. I'm more of a peripheral. But that was a bad look for Jaden Reed. Well, I want to know where he's at, because we've heard good things about how he's trying to help Matthew Golden and Davion Williams assimilate. But the bottom line is that there's a lot more competition in that room now. I want to talk to Romeo Dobbs about where he's at. I certainly want to talk to Zach Tom after we've been told that his right tackle job is now an open competition, even though he was an all-pro level player last season. So there are lots of storylines. I'm working on something right now on Sean Mannion. So I'm looking forward to talking to Jordan Love about how the change has been in quarterbacks coaches from 71-year-old Tom Clements to Sean Mannion, who is young enough to still be playing in the league, and in fact was playing in the league as recently as 2023 as a backup. So lots of storylines. We'll have to wait and see who's made available to us to allow me to tell them.
Do you think that Zach Tom bit that you mentioned, that is an open spot, that everyone's competing, is that just lip service, or are they actually trying to evaluate other people's fit in that role?
Well, I'm going to assume that they mean what they say and say what they mean, because I personally think it's absolutely preposterous. I mean, he came off of a ruptured pectoral muscle in the offseason last year and didn't miss a game, played 98% of the snaps. And did he play as well as he did the previous year? No. And you know who would be the first one to tell you that? Zach Tom. But the idea that a guy who was in a contract year has now been – and look, Steno had the chance to indicate that he had misspoke. And I love Steno. He is one of my favorite coaches. You know, he played when Tausch was a player. And I love him because he's a straight shooter. So I don't think that was lip service, Alex. I think that was how they're really viewing it. And if I was Zach Tom, I would be really tipped. And frankly, I would go out there and play at a really high level, and then I would hit free agency and drive up my price and potentially go play somewhere else. Because if we're being honest about where he's at, he cannot be complacent. No one is saying that he should be lazy and complacent and think he's arrived, but I can't imagine that he needed further nudging in terms of pressure and motivation, because he's playing for a contract. He's in his 4th year. He was a 4th-round pick. 4th-round picks don't get paid a lot. I mean, I would argue that in today's NIL era, that there's probably some 4th-round picks that could get more money if they stayed in school compared to the contracts they get. So I don't think he needs motivation. I think he's plenty motivated, and if that's why they're doing it, then that is really surprising to me. So I'm going to assume that they're looking at it as, hey, we drafted Anthony Belton in the 2nd round. He was a left tackle for 30-some games at North Carolina State. We think he can compete for that right tackle job. And then it goes back to what we were just talking about, the idea of recycling guys and moving on from them after their rookie contracts are over. And maybe Zach Tom, Tausch and Bulaga, who know a hell of a lot more about playing right tackle than I do, thought he was one of the best right tackles they've ever seen. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe the Packers don't see it the same way.
Jason, one more before we let you go here. Just wanted to ask, in between the period of rookie camp and OTAs, a lot of the Packers, I believe it was Donald Driver's charity softball game last night in the, it's over where the Timber Rattlers play. It looked like that. One, fans showed out and everything, but secondly, it was the opportunity for Matthew Golden and some of the younger guys to get to really get to show face. I mean, how have you seen that? Just the Green Bay area, fans in general, more so in that concentrated area near Lambeau and that part of Wisconsin, embrace Matthew Golden and the newer faces of the Packers?
Yeah, I did not go to the softball game. Drivers kind of passed the baton to Jordan Love. There were not a ton of established guys that took part. It was mostly rookies and kind of the fringe guys other than Jordan. But you're right, Matthew Golden was there, and I saw him interviewed. Look, it's a big deal to be a Packer in the Green Bay, Fox Cities area. It's a big deal to be a Packer in the state, even up north and even in Door County, which are two different places. And so I think that's he buzzarded me. Yep. That's terrible. And so he's going to be welcomed here. It's going to be exciting. I saw he talked about going fishing. That's all well and good, but I will say this, and I don't mean to make it sound like they turn on you necessarily, but if you don't produce, it doesn't really matter how charming you are, right? Like, and especially for the organization. Like we mentioned, AJ Dillon. Like AJ Dillon, I swear he was the Chamber of Commerce president for Door County, but he didn't live up to his second round draft status. He was not. They gave him every opportunity to supplant Aaron Jones as the starting running back a few years ago, and he wasn't good enough. And so, yeah, it's great, and everybody loves their players, but if they don't deliver for the team, and in some cases don't deliver for the fantasy football team you own, that could curdle a little bit, that's for sure.
Jason, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy running the errands, too. Best of luck to the girls over at the gymnastics championships that you're going to be over at OTA, so hopefully, hey, we're hoping they bring back some hardware. But appreciate your time as always. Jason Wilde, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN. The Wilde of Wilde and Tausch. Thanks again, Jason. Appreciate your time.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
All right. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC, Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Steinhaufel's biggest Memorial Day sale ever is happening now. Save 10% off store-wide and get $50 instant cash back for every $499 you spend. Plus, buy a premium mattress and get free premium delivery on everything. And take advantage of Steinhaufel's 60-month 0% financing. Plus, get amazing doorbusters. Steinhaufel's is Wisconsin's furniture and mattress leader. Shop in-store or online at steinhaufels.com.
What's up, Wisconsin fans? Enjoying the game should always be easy, so don't overthink it. What to wear? Done. Just toss on your lucky jersey. Don't know what to serve your friends? Easy. Pick up some pizza from your go-to place and grab Bud Light to stock your fridge. See? It's that easy. Just like Bud Light, which is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honeys.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
It's time to think outside the pocket on Saturday Scramble.
I think the Bucks signed their souls away or something.
I look at the Bucks as Augustus Gloop.
Probably really smart, actually, because I write such long.
Yes! Clip that, Riley. Jason said that I'm smart.
So I get the lasagna, and she looks up and she says, man, that is the least sexy thing on the menu. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Lasagna not sexy? Lasagna can be sexy.
Nah, if I'm eating a lasagna, I'm not having fun time after a date.
I go to the gym to fight people.
That's awesome.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. With Alex Gravatt, here's Pablo Iglesias.
The Saturday Scramble continues on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and also on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, 844-770-3776. We are continuing Packers talk. But before we do that, boys, I was at a going-away party last night. A lot of good vibes, a lot of good old friends I haven't seen. And you know what? Just to the certain point of the night, I just started going around asking everybody, what is your quarterback cadence? What is it? G, go.
Blue 42! 42 said hot.
No claps? No claps.
Well, that wouldn't
You're not a
picked
clapping
up.
guy.
There's like rules about hand motion now that might get a false start.
Okay. Riley Alk, you're next.
All right, this comes from my childhood. We'd always go,
Blue bunk bed,
Blue
set, hot.
Blue bunk bed?
Bunk bed, yeah.
Bunk bed.
Blue bunk bed. It was a secret play me and my cousin ran where he'd lay down flat.
Well, it's a secret.
Well, now we haven't played in a while, so now
I wish we had this
lay
question for
down
Evan last week. That would have
on
been fun.
top of him like that, and then be blue bunk bed. And
wait,
then
you would
we'd
lay down on top of him?
Yeah, and then we'd get up and go separate ways. It'd confuse the
Dude,
defense.
your release is terrible then.
Yes, but like the stack element would confuse
They know
the crap
who's
out of
cutting
defenses.
first. The guy on top is clearly going to be the one.
Nope. They didn't know.
I would
It
love.
worked well.
I would love to know,
Unreal.
and we could open it up to
Terrible
callers.
defenders.
We could also open it up to callers because I feel like you can't text in 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and text line list is more. What is your quarterback cadence?
Well,
Don't
Pablo,
know exactly what. Yes,
you can't throw us under the bus without giving us a little.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like a la. It's not exactly Dak Prescott, but I will say it's a little closer. It's like, all right, let's go. Here we go. Take up, and then boom.
Did you just underhand throw? Okay, if you were watching on YouTube,
I'm more of a sidearm guy. That's how I go. I am a sidearm guy.
I'm willing to bet you would throw 12 interceptions in the ESPN Madison football game if we had full pads on, which we've done this before. But
I know I'm not a quarterback.
Yeah, no,
I know I'm not.
I put you at dude. Your gym habits put you at left end. Easy. You are a pass rusher.
I love it. I love
like
it. That's
that.
what I want to do. I want to rush the passer. I want to rush the passer. That's where I'm going. And the reason why, one, wanted to talk about quarterback cadence, I don't know why it came to mind.
Well, hold on really quick.
But, yes.
Didn't Aaron Rodgers was a green 18, right? Was that it?
Green 18.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
How did we both end up as blue guys then?
That's interesting.
Because we grew up with exclusively green 18.
It's a really good question. I don't know. Did Favre have blue?
I have no idea. Why does there have to be a color? Because I think there has to be a color.
It does sound like, I guess.
But you're just saying, let's go.
Omaha.
Red up.
Omaha was that was how he killed.
Manning.
That was the kill call. He was like,
Omaha was kill,
or maybe audible. I thought Omaha was audible.
It was pretty crazy. If you guys haven't, I'm sure we all watched a couple of the episodes of the quarterbacks. Like there's that one episode where they just right at the start, it's just overkill of all the cadences of all the plays of all here's what zip for banana means, basically. Like I said, I'm not a quarterback. I feel like, if anything, I'd be the guy who is the pass rusher. But just like the phrases, everything, like just on and on. Like this is like, it just blows your mind. Like how, one, you got to be on top of it. You got to know the language, and there's so many different things that mean kill, audible, we're going to pass, play action, all those things. Like, it's crazy.
Blue 80 is the common color number combination used by many teams. And Aaron Rodgers is the one who famously created the cadence of Green 18.
Green 18.
I got to figure out what Green 18 means.
I think I need to polish mine a little bit more. I did fumble my own question. I love your answers. I will come back, and I will come back with a cleaner quarterback cadence. I feel like that I was the guy who asked the question who had no answer to it, or could have had a better answer to it.
You got to be ready to answer your own questions sometimes. It happens.
It do be like that. It do be like that. The big question that was put out there, too, from Jason Wilde, if you heard him on the other side here on the Saturday Scramble, is that earlier in the week, talking about the Packers Pro Football Focus rankings, through all that, the quarterback rankings, too, Jason Wilde, we asked, quote, if you're Goody and you're offered these quarterbacks for Jordan Love, do you say, nah, we're good, or sure, sounds good to their offer? If the Bears offer you the Green Bay Packers, Caleb Williams, what are you saying as a Packers fan? No or sure? His results were that they were good. So I think on the other side is that we want to continue talking about this, Caleb Williams versus Jordan Love, and we want to know what you think, too. Hit us up on the talk and text line, 844-770-3776, ESPN Madison YouTube chat. All those things, even our private text line if you'd like to. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Bandana? Check. Boots? Check. Gloves? Check. As a motorcycle rider in Wisconsin, you may go to great lengths to protect your image. Just be sure you're protecting yourself, too. Wear a Department of Transportation-approved helmet. Perform safety checks on your motorcycle. Know the traffic laws and don't take risks. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Memorial Day savings are here at Brothers Maine. Shop unbeatable deals on top brands like GE Appliances, Cafe, Hotpoint, and Monogram. Plus, enjoy expert support and free local delivery. Visit us today and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Zimbrick Honda and ESPN Medicine present the Game Changers of the Month, recognizing the area's best high school sports stories about those who make a positive impact in their community. Here's Pablo Iglesias with Zimbrick Honda's Game Changers of the Month.
Pablo Iglesias here at Middleton High School for the Zimbrick Honda Game Changers of the Month, and we're recognizing two schools who are bitter rivals, but Middleton and Sun Prairie East are putting their differences aside for a cause greater than them. This is the Cardinals Striking Out Cancer event, where over $200,000 has collectively been raised over the years for a great cause. We talk with the coaches and so many more for this great event in the Madison area.
We've raised an enormous amount of money for the American Family Children's Hospital, and that goes to speak to it. We have people just today walking around the building that putting their kids through school, and they're like, hey, thanks for sending out the link to donate. I'm happy I could help make a difference, and I'm happy that you guys are putting this on. It's important, and it's important work because everyone's affected, whether you're ready for it or not. It does affect people.
Follow ESPN Madison on YouTube to see the full interview with the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
After a storm, even seemingly small damage can lead to major problems. If your roof or siding took a hit with this recent storm, your insurance may cover the damage, but the process is still a nightmare. Badgerland Exteriors makes it seamless. They'll guide you through every step and get your family's home back in tip-top shape just as fast as that storm ripped through.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Fans, here is the Quick Trip to the Ballpark ticket offer. Spend $200 at participating Quick Trip locations and get a free Terrace Reserve ticket to a 2025 Milwaukee Brewers home game. Check brewers.com/quicktrip for more details. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
All you have is one.
One chance after an accident. One decision on who to call. One shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Carbless ready-to-drink cocktails are here for your flawless summer. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. Drinking Carbless and watching the crew is already a win, but now that combination is about to get a whole lot better. Carbless is offering you a sweet night at the ballpark. Your chance to win 14 tickets with food and drinks included to the July 26th game is just one shopping trip away. From now until the end of May, head to your local retailer and scan the QR code to register for your chance to win this amazing prize. A flawless summer night at the ballpark awaits.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
It's burning through to my soul.
Green 18 says it! Red Razor, Red Razor, Red Razor. Watch on right, watch on right. Check out. Better? No.
You stole like 4.
Yeah, so
Would you? So are you mixing them all in? Is this like, you know?
I'm just throwing in a bunch
the
of stuff.
Stir fry of quarterback cadence.
I feel like if anything, I'm just like the kid that's like playing like Nerf flag football or whatever. And they're just throwing in a bunch of things just because it's like, this sounds cool. This is what I heard. Like I said, not a quarterback. Well, by position, that is. I feel like in life we could all be quarterbacks. But we're not going to get too much into that philosophical talk.
Wow.
We could.
What are you, Riley, in the game of life? What position are you?
No, we all are quarterbacks in our
quite
own.
a deep
No,
question
I don't think
there,
you
G.
have to be a quarterback. I feel
What
like
if I
I'm more
wanna
like
be a running back?
I'm the Jay Jettis. I'm a wide receiver.
Jay Jettis.
Pablo, that was a great stance, though, too. You like with the hands on the table. If you
Yeah.
were watching our video stream, you couldn't see it, but you should just do the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Like in that quarterback standing stance.
Just like this.
Yeah.
You're gonna have back problems.
Leaning down into the mic.
I already do have back problems. One, it's from lifting weights, and 2, it's because I'm a week into 30. I know over at the ESPN Chicago offices, our teammates out there, David Kaplan and Jay Hood and Cap,
Have back problems?
They're older guys. No, but they stand. I don't know. Cap's always like this, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like if I was the one who was standing and G was sitting, it'd just feel awkward for me. I feel like it would just. I could stand. Do you want me to stand for the rest of the show?
I can't stand really because I'm really tall and the mic is low.
We would need to bring the cameras a little bit higher.
Like the sweet song of
me higher.
The bump song had higher in it, like the sweet song of desire. Light my.
It's a beautiful song.
Morning skies with burning love.
Burning love and a burning question. This is a Saturday Scramble. We're off the rails already here as we reach the second part, or the portion of the 11 o'clock hour. Second portion, that is. Words are hard right now, man. I said this in the first segment, and here we are again.
As a Bears fan, would you rather? This
Thank you.
This trade straight up. Jordan Love and his big contract for Caleb Williams and his itty bitty baby little contract right now. Would you take it?
Would I take it? Would I take Jordan Love over Caleb Williams, right?
Would you accept that trade?
No.
You would not.
I'm keeping Caleb.
Okay, Caleb Williams.
Keeping Caleb.
5 wins in the NFL. I think he went, 7-5 his senior year of college?
Yeah. But the other thing is, too, it's like, well, the other side is that I feel like that the report, or more so of like the bigger thing that is in the Wickersham book, that he tried to get his way out of Chicago. I can understand that more of like just from the bigger picture. You know, I am a loyal fan of that team, but also understanding the bigger picture is that is where, unfortunately, quarterbacks have gone to die. I can't tell you how it's going to play out the rest of the way, but it is. I could understand it. If anything, though, Caleb has also felt like that he's embraced the city, but that's outside of the football realm. I like, but don't know if I, quote, love Jordan Love. Just because of right now, it's like I was a huge fan of him first year as a starter. Last year just kind of felt like a little bit of the regression, partly because of the injury, which is what I always go back to. But I don't know. 844-770-3776, the Cardinals Talking text line. List is more. Would you, if the trade was offered straight up, would you be happy if the Green Bay Packers swapped out Jordan Love for Caleb Williams?
I don't want to talk about a swap, right? I want to talk about what the poll that Jason Wilde put out there yesterday using Pro Football Focus quarterback rankings. We asked, if you're Goody and you're offered one of these quarterbacks for Jordan Love, do you say, nah, we're good, or sure sounds good for their offer? Specifically, if the Bears offered Caleb Williams for Packers right now. Right now, it's this feels like a bit of a weird thing, but as a Green Bay Packers fan, I struggle, but I think I'm okay with saying yes. And that puts me, 88.2% of people said, no, we don't want Caleb Williams for Jordan Love. But the thing is, Jason Wilde, if you missed any of that, you can go back and listen on YouTube or anywhere you get your podcasts. Jason Wilde mentioned how many players are coming up on that contract year for the Green Bay Packers this year and next year. It's a lot of players. And you're going to need to pay to keep some of those guys around. Zach Tom, going to need a lot of money. You're going to need to pay market value for Romeo Doubs if you want Romeo, Jaden Reed if you want Jaden Reed, and Quay Walker. All these guys, they're going to go out and get some money. You got to keep Tucker Kraft around. I mean, we all love Tucker Kraft. And to clear the space that Jordan Love is going to eat up in the next couple of years, I don't hate the idea of a swap. The other thing in this situation is, I believe you got Jordan Love, who was a great fit. I mentioned this in the first hour. Great fit for the offense that Matt LaFleur wants to run, because you can run the ball a ton with Josh Jacobs and just let him eat up yards. And then you have a guy who's a gunslinger. He's got accuracy. He's smart, and he can throw it over the top so you can score fast when push comes to shove or when they all come in to stop Josh Jacobs. I don't think that Jordan Love has proven to me yet that he's the guy who will carry a team to a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers carried teams to NFC championships again and again and again, whether they were good or not. He never really carried a team to a Super Bowl. He had a great team the year they won the Super Bowl, but that's part of what it takes. Caleb Williams has been advertised as the kind of guy who can change a franchise that has been in the just basement. They've been terrible since 2006 when they went to the Super Bowl. They've had moments, sure, but there's been nothing that can work for the Bears. And they've been tough and bad the whole time. Now, if he can turn them around, which he hasn't yet, let's not forget, the Bears they're a 5-win team. But if he has that it factor, then he's going to give you bites at the apple, and I trust the Packers to put pieces around him to win a championship, to go get a championship, to have the opportunity. So,
what do you think the ceiling is between these two guys? Who do you think has the higher ceiling, if I were to ask you right now?
Caleb Williams has the higher ceiling. That's all anyone's talked about, but I would say the same about Trevor Lawrence. And as we sit here right now, I don't think Trevor Lawrence is really that great.
Why do you feel that way?
Well, Trevor Lawrence?
No, about let's say, does that concern you at all, that just saying that back to me, that Caleb Williams versus Jordan Love, we compare that side to side? That Williams has the higher ceiling than Jordan Love right now. We're not talking about, let's just talk about just pure quarterback skill right now. From what you've seen, we only get one. We've gotten 1 year of Caleb as the starter for the Chicago Bears. His whole one season. We've only gotten 2 seasons of Jordan Love as the starter. I mean, what are you seeing from the both of them?
So here's the thing. I think Caleb Williams, like I said, he has a higher theoretical ceiling. I'm not saying he is a better quarterback than Jordan Love. I want to be very clear. As of right now, one of those two guys has not had a losing season in 2 seasons, and one of those guys has had a losing season in 1 season, including, what was it, a 9-game losing streak? Was it 10? Do either of you guys know? It was
10-game, I believe, yeah.
Oh my goodness. We have not seen that level of
10-game
disappointment.
But 5 losses for sure were within a single possession.
So he didn't get it done.
I mean, he can't stop the Hail Mary.
Can't stop a Hail Mary. I understand.
He can't stop the Hail Mary, and to an extent,
he can't stop a kick from getting blocked, but he could have gotten a first down.
Could have gotten the first down on that one, yes. The Washington game, they fumbled with Doug Kramer, who was the offensive lineman that was also the fullback.
I don't want to talk about all of the ways. Yes.
Hang on.
Womp womp.
Yeah, that sucked. That was a stupid idea. But then come back and lead the game-winning drive, or the game-leading drive, I should say.
Left time on the clock. He's a rookie. He's got things to figure out. But that's the sort of thing that I'm talking about, that we've seen Jordan Love, when push comes to shove, fall short a handful of times. Mm-hmm. And there is a level of it factor. Jaden Daniels has it. If you get Jaden Daniels, you have that. In the fourth quarter, I feel good about our guy. Did he get boat raced in the NFC Championship game? Sure. He got to the NFC Championship game. He had 5 or 6 fourth quarter comebacks last year. I mean, the dude has the it factor. I don't know if Jordan Love has the it factor. Caleb Williams is advertised as having the it factor. We haven't seen it. And the fact that his last year in college was whatever it was. I mean, he had, he went 7-5 or whatever, 7-4. He was good, not great. Like, he can be talented, but he's not leading teams to win. And I haven't seen it in the last 2 years, college and pros. So for all of that, I'm happy that I have Jordan Love as my quarterback over Caleb Williams. But if a trade were to be proposed right now, straight up, I think the monetary value, plus the possibility of having a guy who turns into, I mean, even Josh Allen stunk his first year, but everyone knew he had it. Now, he hasn't had enough of it to get past Pat Mahomes, but who has?
Let me ask you this, with the concern of Caleb Williams, or not the concern, but it's more as a Packer fan. Also, I love standing. This is just nice. I feel like I'm in like a. I feel like I'm not gonna lie. I'm in like a dad power stance.
I'm gonna tell you that's a
Madison.
short king move right there, because you can talk into that microphone that only has a foot off the table.
I mean, not a tall guy compared to you, I guess, but it is what it is.
That seemed like an unnecessary stray.
Okay, but like, it's at my belly button. I can't do this. Like, look at if you're
okay. I'm not standing up. This is how high I would be. You could still get me. I'm sure Riley's also probably turned me up a little bit. So this
no,
is
actually, it still picks you up pretty well.
Oh, thanks. Apparently, it's
short king.
Short king spring out here. Apparently. See, wait. What constitutes a short king? I thought it was 5'9". I don't even know how. See, that's the problem. I genuinely have no idea how tall I am.
844-770-3776. Does your girlfriend call you a short king if you're in that situation? Just curious.
It is what it is. But okay, back to this. As Packers fans, and Riley, I want to hear from you too, as not only our Badgers truther, but our massive Packers optimist.
You're the most homer on the show.
Yes,
I would agree.
Again, we started the conversation with, I think you're maybe the most Wisconsin. I think that I'm the most Wisconsin based on where I'm from, because you are 15 minutes from the Illinois border. So I struggle to say you are 100%. You're also nearby Madison. I'm from Sheboygan County. I'm from Plymouth, Wisconsin, real close to Lake Winnebago, near that Appleton, Oshkosh, Fox River Valley, which is where I think the most true Wisconsin brand comes from, right? Plymouth, Wisconsin, cheese capital of the world. But I do think that you live a more pure Wisconsin life.
So to the Packers fans, how concerned are you for Caleb Williams, and like if he ascends, if he becomes the guy that has the it factor? How concerned are you guys for the Packers of just running into this this big Caleb Williams like it factor run if he goes on it? Like, how concerned are you guys for the future of the NFC North rivalry, all that stuff?
I'm not. No.
So you're not concerned at all?
Yes. I think that there's a chance the Bears finally have a shot at figuring it out. Yes, we saw the Lions do it, and I thought I would be long gone before the Lions figured it out.
That is true.
But they did it because they figured out how to create a better culture. They got a better coach, and they built it the right way. And I have faith that that's what the Bears are trying to do, but the Bears have just not figured out how to do that since 1985, when I was negative 12. I was negative 12, Pablo.
That's the math. I was negative 10.
Negative 16. Make you guys feel old.
My mom was graduating high school. Like, I'm not that worried about it. And the other thing is, I'm confident that the Packers are going to continue to put out competitive teams. I want the Packers to win a Super Bowl more than I care about what the Bears do. So, I don't know if you saw circling around Aaron Rodgers.
That was awesome.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was talking about so it was like, you should just retire. And he's like, oh, you're a Bears truther. I get it. And he goes on this tirade about how everyone comes into Hallis Hall. And they say, we got to go beat the Packers. And every Packers new head coach or front office member, we're going to win a Super Bowl. And that's just what it is. Okay, quick sidetrack here. Do either of you guys think that Aaron Rodgers should still use the term "we" when referring to the Packers?
Yes, I love that. Once a Packer, always a Packer.
That
He's
is
going to
pretty
go in
wild.
the Packers Hall of Fame someday.
Unless you're Martellus Bennett or Greg Jennings.
I mean, it also shows it shows too that he does not have any hard feelings against the team.
He
itself.
knows where his bread got buttered, man.
Yeah,
All right, like
he
our
knows
guy.
that. I think it's he also with breadcrumbs too. He throws out who he feels like, whether or not like it was the tension or their relationship, who did him dirty or who he felt did dirty. It's not that it was the Packers and he's just flipping the bird over to Lambeau Field and everybody that comes up there. I mean, I know a buddy too, one of my close friends who still wears an Aaron Rodgers jersey. He's like,
sure,
yeah, he's like. He's definitely out there. Don't get me wrong. He's got some opinions that it is what it is. But also like he brought me a lot of happiness as a Packer fan growing up. He brought that Lombardi trophy. He was part of a lot of runs. So yeah, it is also about like it's interesting.
Yeah.
That he does still use the "we" for the Packers.
I was on a sales call with our Chicago team because we at Good Karma Brands, we are also part of the ESPN Chicago team, right? And they are the home of the Bears, the exclusive home of the Bears. It's a super cool opportunity. And they were asking what our favorite Bears memory was, because there are a couple Bears fans on my sales team, but almost everyone had an Aaron Rodgers doing something absolutely ridiculous against the Bears moment. And that's part of what makes this so special and why I think, well, yes, Aaron Rodgers is a lunatic. He's forever going to be a part of like the Packers' legacy.
Exactly. And Pablo,
he's a lunatic, but he's our lunatic.
Exactly. And to answer your question, I'm not worried about the Bears until they prove something. Like, they still haven't proved it yet. Does it look like they have a good chance at building a better culture and doing something similar to the Lions? Yes. But talking about Aaron Rodgers, he owns the Bears. He transferred that ownership to Jordan Love. And until they prove it on the field, that does not change.
Well, we are also talking about some other things proven on the field, too. Second Take is coming up, and flag football, boys, that's going to be an Olympic sport. We do have some former Packers taking a little bit of their takes on Second Take and who can prove who, what, where. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC, Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
April showers bring May savings at Metro Kia Madison. Get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Kia Sportage, $17.48 cost for $1,000 borrowed. The 25 Kia Sorento is also available for 1.9% APR for 60 months, $17.48 cost per $1,000. All new vehicles from Metro Kia Madison come with 2 years, no charge maintenance, and a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Browse their inventory at MetroKiaMadison.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair. So you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Share your embarrassing nickname for when you were a kid, and your nickname was
Maladina Muffin Pie.
I keep
Why are we not making
that time was so good.
Why are we not making foo-foo say foo-foo constantly?
Fine, we can go. I can't remember yours. Like,
Yeah,
yours
exactly.
is harder.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Medicine on YouTube.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Real quick before we get into second take, I was just discovering this. Wiz Khalifa was in Madison last night.
What?
Do you guys know? I think he was. I did see. I thought I was seeing social media stories and videos that people that I knew in the Madison area, I think, were at Wiz Khalifa last night. I don't know if we could verify this, but did I ever tell you guys I met him in college?
No.
Yes. So I was part of an activity board's planning committee, and he came to Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois. Shout out Braves. We had him.
He was at the Majestic?
Yeah, he was at the Majestic.
Wild.
Did he fall off or something? Like, he's a name I know. Is he not popular
I think the
anymore?
Majestic is decently sized, but yeah, I was surprised. I was like, wait, well, Lil Wayne was here at the Sylvie. But
that was the Sylvie. That's our venue.
No, I think the Sylvie and the Majestic, Sylvie, Majestic, and Orpheum, which also the Orpheum too.
Great.
You could the Made 'em Believe event too. That's coming up next month. Make sure you get your tickets. UWHoops2015.com. I feel like they're the same type concert venue size.
Absolutely not. You can get at least twice as many people in the Sylvie than the Majestic.
Yeah, maybe.
At least.
I guess just the way that they're all shaped. That's just what makes it feel like for
Let's
me.
go to second take.
Yes.
You heard it first.
It doesn't matter. Chris Paul, Cliff Paul, Jake Paul, Logan Paul. Lakers in 5 now, Chris.
Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth. I want Iguodala.
What is that? I love it. Oh, my gosh.
But now it's our turn. This is Second Take on Saturday Scramble.
I know I say it every time, but I want Iguodala.
That's
the best take of all time.
That's so iconic. I did in a basketball pickup basketball group chat. It was I did a voiceover and I just put one of my friends' names over it too, so it just sounded like this really poor edit. And it was just part of the meme. It was part of the bit. I love the give me Iguodala bit 100%. Riley, what do we got for second take on deck though?
So as you teased, Pablo, flag football is going to be an Olympic sport in the 2028 Olympics, and the NFLPA said that NFL players can play in the Olympics.
I just really want to put out there, you know what it beat out to become an Olympic sport?
What?
Ultimate Frisbee.
I was just about to say.
Yep. One of the 3 finalists, Ultimate Frisbee, did not make the cut. So
sad.
Tough.
A big womp womp moment for all your ultimaters out there.
For me, I could have been an Olympian. Damn it.
Far from ultimate.
I was looking for a club to join at the college org fair, and I was offered. We'll call it Wacky Tobacco at the org fair by one of the organizations, and
Stick with the Wiz Khalifa theme.
Yeah,
out
exactly. And I was like, oh well, that seems like a group of people that would be fun to hang out with.
Riley, second take time.
All right, so Pablo asked some former Packers at a recent Wilde and Tausch remote, which of their teammates would they want on their flag football team? So we're going to run through their answers, and you guys got to say which one was the best. Rank them 1 through 3. Let's start with former Packers receiver Santana Dotson.
I'm gonna say Robert Brooks. You know, I never saw anybody that played with me any quicker and faster to the ball.
Robert Brooks. Where do you rank that as a member of your flag football team? 1, 2, or 3?
Robert Brooks was great. I think that he's fantastic. I think that he's kind of low down on the list of Packers wide receivers all time, in my opinion. So I think it could be better, could be worse. Let's go with number 2.
I am doing my homework in real time. I wanted to do this last night, but if you can see on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel,
move it slightly closer to your mic.
Nope, to the mic. Can you see it?
There you go.
I am watching
we might be
Robert
breaking
Brooks.
Infringement rules here.
I am watching Robert Brooks highlights right here. Absolute dog. Like they showed a kickoff return too. I think this is good, but I would go second. I think
we agree.
Okay, I think fair 2.
Okay, so we're putting Robert Brooks at 2. Well,
fantastic highlights though, and I'm only a minute in.
Let's see who Robert Brooks would want on his flag football team.
Flag football. I gotta go with Brett. I let Brett run around and do what he do. I mean, he was a scrambling quarterback way back when, man. So I think I'll go with Brett.
Robert Brooks wants Brett Favre. 1 or 3 for Brett Favre?
3. Reason why, if I were to pick any former Packer quarterback, Favre is good. Favre is a really good option. But if I'm going by this logic, Aaron Rodgers 100% in flag football. That I think it's a slight edge. So if I were to pick quarterbacks, Brett's a close second, but I would go Aaron Rodgers all time on a Packers quarterback that could really sling it in the flag football.
336 interceptions means third pick on my takes draft.
All right, so we have Robert Brooks at 2, Brett Favre at 3. Let's see who
hilarious.
The Magic Man, Don Majkowski, would want on his flag football team.
For me, it's easy. I would take Sterling Sharp. Sterling was my receiver for 5 years, and we had a lot of success. And he's getting inducted to not the Packer Hall of Fame, but the NFL Hall of Fame this summer, which I'm going to attend. So it's an easy answer. Sterling Sharp.
Sterling Sharp for Don Majkowski ends up at 1. Explain.
3-time AP first team All-Pro. Yeah, give me that dude.
Yeah, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
That's number 1. I love it.
Kind of your best option.
Exactly. Newest incomer of one of the gold jacket recipients. I think I was even smiling from ear to ear when Don was you could just tell when I love too. So when I got to ask this question over at that golf outing at Trapper's Turn earlier this week, you could just tell that the guys loved that question. Robert Brooks even told me after the interview, he's like, "Thanks, man, that was fun." You could feel that energy. They loved to think about that. So it was like the same type of energy when Don had said Sterling Sharp. He's like, hands down. It was like these guys knew. These guys were ready to go with those answers too. They didn't take too long. So got to go with Sterling as the number 1. It feels like, because that's 1, the spot that we have, and 2, like I said, he's going to be the next. He's going to be part of the incoming gold jacket class.
All right, I've got mine, and I think it might be the number 1 all-time duo for flag football. I'll tell you in a sec. But you each have 12 seconds. Tell me, Riley, who do you think would be on your flag football team?
Former Packers?
Yes.
Give me Randall Cobb. I love Randall Cobb. Shifty, fast, great hands.
That's
Randall
12
Cobb.
seconds.
Jordy.
I love that. Jordy is one of the 2 that I would consider, but you have to take Aaron Rodgers. You can put the ball anywhere in the world. He's incredibly elusive. He can throw very, very tight spirals, and everywhere on the field is open. And Devontae Adams, the guy who can catch anything, the best route runner in the NFL. It's an obvious choice for me.
Favre would be great, but Rodgers, I think, is a little more, I don't want to call Rodgers conservative. I think he was a little more protective over the ball than Favre. Favre would let it air.
More accurate.
Yeah, more accurate, and I think he's a little more strategic, where Favre is like, hey, somebody's down there, let me chuck it. So, all right, this is the Saturday Scramble. One last break before we let you go. Pablo Iglesias, Alex Ravat, also Riley Yauk behind the glass. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
The GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB Academy wants to be part of your plan to reach your potential. Utilize GRB Academy's 52,000 square foot facility, 14 batting cages, and 6,000 square foot weight room. Personal lessons at the GRB Baseball Academy are available year-round. With over 300 college players and over 150 Division I players, GRB has consistently led the way in the Midwest for college recruitment and player development. Visit their website, grbacademy.com, for more information. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on two wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Memorial Day savings are here at Brothers Maine. Shop unbeatable deals on top brands like GE Appliances, Cafe, Hotpoint, and Monogram. Plus, enjoy expert support and free local delivery. Visit us today and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
Jim Rutledge here from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Join myself alongside Molly Brown and Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton in Cottage Grove at Oakstone Recreational on Friday, May 30th. We'll do a live show of Jim, Matt, and Molly, and then we'll do a watch-along on the ESPN Madison YouTube as the Brewers take on the Phillies. ESPN Madison is your home for Brewers baseball in Madison and the home of Jim, Matt, and Molly, weekdays 4 to 6. Join us live on YouTube and in person from Oakstone Recreational for Brewers vs. Phillies on Friday, May 30th.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we going to do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go.
Final wrap-up here on the Saturday Scramble. Pablo Iglesias, Alex Grabbat, Riley Yauk behind the glass here at the Everlight Solar Studio on 100.5 ESPN. It's a holiday weekend too, boys. You guys got any plans? I'm traveling out of town. I will be heading to Palm Springs tomorrow morning. I'm flying out.
How many
be with
places
the
in the country are named Palm Springs? I feel like there's in Arizona.
Well, my couch is also named Palm Springs. Shout out to Steinhoffels, too. Yeah,
you named your couch Palm Springs?
No, it is part of the Palm Springs collection at Steinhoffels, ironically. And then
Do you name things that are inanimate?
Like
your
my car? My car, yes. My first car was Stella. And
what kind of car was it?
It was a red Ford Escape.
I have a Ford Escape right now. I don't have a name for it really, but reliable vehicle.
My red Ford Escape, and my current car, it's a Jeep Patriot. I named her Blanca.
I struggle to name cars. I don't know. It feels weird. I don't have a name for it, but my girlfriend has names for it, and I think that they always fit really nicely. She's got it down. Riley, are you a named car guy?
Not really. I mean, I have a silver Prius. And sometimes I call it the old gray stallion.
Do you still
outside
need
of
to
that-
jump it to start it, or is it warm enough?
No, now it's warm enough. We're good.
Warm enough. All right. Well, hey, this has been Pablo Iglesias, Alex Gravatt, Riley Yauk over here at the Everlight Solar Studio. Coming up on the other side, it is, once again, Saturday Scramble. Alex, she's going to be holding down the fort next week with mystery guests.
Mystery cast, a bunch of random folks.
Hey, the Saturday Scramble in full effect. Boys, hold down the fort for me. Coming up next, ESPN Radio, Brewers and Pirates later this afternoon. 2 Western Conference Finals coming your way. This has been the Saturday Scramble. We will see you next week.
Greg Scalzi here for Total Athlete Performance. They're here to provide elite performance training for serious athletes in the